lot like murder. Hey, YouTube. How y'all doing today? Yes, San Francisco has joined the dance as well. It looks like most major cities are now protesting. They've gone absolutely insane in Los Angeles, where they're actually burning up police vehicles, turning them over, and attacking them. So, hey, Princess A. You always fast, Princess A. Hey, people, BS Scales, B Scales, Miss Philadelphia, April Aries, Mama Aries too. Hey, you guys. So now the whole damn thing is blowing up the whole country as if we didn't already have enough problems. Now, a week ago, we were being told that nobody should go outside without a mask on. Everybody should stay 6 feet between each other. And now this thing has blown up where people are not even 1 foot between each other, and masks are being taken on and off. And many people are appearing in these things without masks. I'm sure the conspiracy theorists are having a ball with this one. But I wanted to make a couple of comments. I watch as much as I can. It seems like LA, Atlanta, Dallas, Oakland, San Francisco, Washington. I mean, it seems to be filling pretty much every state now about police brutality. And people have other frustrations as well. So it's all getting blended in together now. So in a minute here, it's not even going to be about George Floyd's death anymore. It's going to be about everything that occurs in every city in the United States, that being mainly police brutality. But something caught my interest. All right. I'm beginning to think this thing was more personal than we first suspected. At first, it appeared like this is just police brutality 101. Someone did a little petty crime. Cops showed up and they used excessive force, right? But now, as the days goes on, this plot seems to thicken. First of all, this man knew the man who he had down on the ground, putting his knee in his neck, right? Who eventually killed him. He knew him. He had worked with him, not for days, but for years, right? So we established that, I think it was just yesterday. Now I'm hearing, and I have to say allegedly, because it's not been confirmed from a reliable source, that these two men had actually dated the same woman. Now the cop, what's his name, Chavin, is a married man, right? But he apparently had a girlfriend, allegedly, who was no longer dating him and is now dating George Floyd. In my opinion, I'm not a lawyer. In my opinion, if this man knew who this was, he had a problem with him, a previous problem with him, because he was a person that he knew who was now dating or about to marry his ex-girlfriend. There might have been a motive. If there's a motive, then it's not third-degree murder, right? I haven't been able to confirm that they were dating the same woman. I did see the woman. She was in tears. We haven't heard from the woman directly to say that there was a problem between the three of them. But if it was personal, if this dude, this dude, Slavin, showed up from a call from a convenience store or deli, and upon seeing who this person was, perhaps getting him out of the getting him out of the store, out of his car, putting the handcuffs on him, and then he realized who this was. If he knew this is the person who is now dating the girl who I was dating just previously, that is murder. I don't think you need no long plan to be first-degree murder. If you knew what you were doing, it was intentional, and you knew the person, I believe that still you can form motive. And I don't know what amount of time it is, because it sounds like when people said there was no pulse, he did not remove his knee from that man's neck, and he knew who he was, and the man had dated his ex-girlfriend, and they had worked side by side in the club for years. So if he was working outside security, the cop, and George was working inside security, they would have to encounter each other, right? Because one would tell them this guy's a problem, whatever. It's got to be interpersonal because one's got to call and say we need some help with this guy or whatever. They work together. Is that how you treat somebody that you actually knew when nobody else being treated that way? So if this thing is true about the relationship, I think that the charge should be shifted from third degree to an actual murder. You intended to kill him. Right? Because the other news is I was able to confirm this. This man's wife filed for divorce almost immediately. It only happened on Monday. By what was it, Thursday or something like that? She had already filed for divorce. So there was something going on in the marriage already. So does the wife know something? Is it possible that this wife knew who these people were? And when she heard the names, she decided to split from him immediately. She might have known that this guy killed him intentionally. She might have known. It obviously had to be something going on already because, stand by your man. It's supposed to last more than 3 days. She immediately wanted out. So there was something going on in their marriage. Something going on with this guy who is, I guess the girl is his fiance. And did this guy was this cop actually dating this girl just shortly before these other two got engaged? That's a lot going on. But if he knew him and killed him anyway, after he knew that he was probably dead, stayed on his neck, that's first degree murder. You wanted to kill him. Whether he knew who it was coming to the scene and found out after he got to the scene, after he identified who that person was and that he had some kind of problem with that person, and then he proceeded to kill him, that wouldn't be third degree murder, in my opinion. Okay, I'm sorry for being so rude, guys. It looks like all your cities are on fire. I mean, it's getting worse. And when you start a riot, I mean, it's not like you can just go in there and now you arrest somebody and now it's over with. These people they're voicing the anger over years of mistreatment. And we know what LA can do with riots. So they were burning cars. I mean, there's going to be millions of dollars in damage here. Plus in Minneapolis, they took out whole buildings. Those buildings are shells now. Police station. I mean, those can't be rebuilt. It's a lot. I was worried about you. I'm in Philadelphia. Who are you worried about, honey? I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere but take this dog around the block. That's it. The protests here are taking place downtown area. Now, San Francisco is known for protests. They know how to have a protest. So I'm hoping that this won't turn violent here. But of course, we all know it only takes one incident. One person gets punched out. The situation in LA reminded me of the Rodney King situation all over again. Flashbacks. Good evening, everyone. How you guys? I mean, I hate to be talking about the same thing every day, but how can you ignore this? How can you ignore it? And it's all on the heels of this pandemic where you're all supposed to be locked in our houses. People couldn't wait to get out. They've been locked up for 3 months. So they're saying that now this could also be manipulated by white supremacists and other hate groups or militias. This thing could, I mean, it could explode on us. And you see what we have in the White House. It's not even worth mentioning. He said, you steal something, I'll kill you dead. Death penalty. Philadelphia as well. Okay. It sounds like it's going to be pretty much every big city. New York for sure. I saw you guys on the news. New Orleans, Denver. Jesus Christ. Every city. Well, I mean, we should protest. We should protest and say we witnessed a murder. And it ain't the first time. It's happening over and over and over again. We should do that. But I don't know about all of this people ending up dead. I don't know about all this violence. I mean, why were they so angry at CNN in Atlanta? My guess would be they just wanted the publicity because they know if they attack CNN, they'd be on the news. Not necessarily you're on the news anyway. Live stream in different cities. People done forgot all about Corona. I mean, it looks like a lot of them are trying to wear a mask, but how? I mean, you're in here 1 foot from people. You're screaming and yelling. I don't believe that those people are all safe. And then when they start using all these poisonous gases and so forth, they know a surgical mask is not going to protect you from tear gas or anything, right? So when that stuff gets all in your lungs and so forth, what you gonna be doing? Grasping for air, breathing in all of the stuff around you. So it's all pretty dangerous. It looks like to me. Teresa Hopkins, enough is enough. I'm tired of watching innocent Black people being killed. That's legitimate. We should protest that. It looks like it's not just us protesting it. It's the whole country is protesting that. But I'm beginning to suspect that this was more than just police brutality run amok. I think that man intentionally killed him. That would be murder, not third-degree murder, murder. So far, I haven't been able to. I only heard from one of these YouTubers about this, them dating the same woman. But that would be motivation. You if this guy's on the ground, this is the one who took your girl. People kill over that kind of stuff all the time, right? Lord, what's happening? Chicago too. Sorry to leave you out, Chicago. You gotta be careful with these big cities, man. Stuff you can't just call that back in. You can't call it back in. We got the whole country now in riots. We have no leadership, nothing to speak of. He know the man. The motive would be if he's dating his girlfriend. That would be perfect murder motive. That's the motive in a whole lot of murders. They said he called the girl. I saw the little white girl there. She was in tears, but I think they were engaged to be married. Wouldn't that be a motive? Premeditation. Premeditation will be when he put him on the ground after he was already handcuffed. Now I'm going to kill you. It seemed almost like he was moving his body, like he was twisting his knee into a man's neck. I think I might have even seen plots like that on movies or something. Where these cops get their revenge because they're wearing a badge. George's girlfriend. Is this the girl in question? I would like to hear from the girl. Did she have anything to do with that cop in the past? That would be a question for me. I did try as best I could through Google to find out her story, but I wasn't able to do that. So it's not confirmed. Still believe this Corona thing has escalated this thing. People are frustrated. They're tired. They're worn out. They need to get out, so they just blasted out the house. They're angry. What the hell is going on here? Jesus Christ. What are they? Got tear gas in this woman's face. Y'all see any masks? In a situation like that, you're not wearing masks. They got to pour water in the girl's eyes and all in her mouth and all that kind of stuff. Jesus Christ. His wife is definitely divorcing him. She announced that almost immediately. So I just found the story today, but today is only Saturday. It happened Monday. So she went immediately into divorcing him. So she already wanted to divorce him. And it could be that when she heard the guy George's name, she said, oh my gosh, he killed him. Apparently, this guy, her husband, was having an affair with the same girlfriend because he was married while he was having a girlfriend, right? She found somebody else. Could there be a racial element there? I think the story is going to be, if they investigate it properly and let us know what the results are, it's going to be a lot more complicated case than just a cop killing somebody. If it was a stranger, you could say it got out of hand, police brutality, third-degree murder. If he knew him, had a personal problem with him, or this guy is taking his girl or whatever, then he killed him. Maybe they were already threatening each other because they knew each other. I still don't know why this guy was able to pass a counterfeit bill, and then the cops get there while he's still there. Did he pass it and the shop owner go outside and see where he was parked at and see he was still parked? So they pull him out of a parked car. Would they put an APB out on a $20 counterfeit bill? We don't have a lot of answers here. But this riot is taking on a whole new life for itself. In every city, it's taking on a new life. All over the country, it's taking on a new life. Then you got that fool in the White House talking about, oh, if they steal something, kill them. Shoot. Loot, shoot. An idiot. He probably enjoys this kind of shit. He used to encourage it at his rallies, right? What is going to happen to the death toll now? We were at 100,000 right before this thing started, right? 100,000. So what are they going to compare that for in 1 month from now? How many of these young people are going to take this virus back to their family? Could happen. Who else is going to die? So far, I've only counted, I think it's 3 deaths. There's one here in Oakland, a cop. They shot 2 cops. One is dead. Where's the other one I heard of? Was it LA have one? There'll be more. The death toll is going to climb. And these cops' hands are tied because if they shoot somebody else, what's that going to do to the situation? Yeah, she was. I don't know that it matters that she was white. I mean, I think it might have mattered to this cop that she was white and he was black or whatever. We still have all that racist attitudes and stuff. It looks like that city, though, is pretty diverse from what I see. There's a lot of interracial people there. A lot of biracial, these young people are biracial. The cop himself, he was married to an Asian girl. His brother-in-law, which was one of the cops, he was obviously Asian. So people will make it racial. But I don't know that it seems like it's a personal situation. He was dating this girl while he was married to somebody else. And then this black guy came along and took the girl, sounds like. But we have to say allegedly, because we don't know yet. We do know that she decided to leave his ass days after this thing broke. Soon as she found out that he had killed this man. I wonder if it was specifically because he killed this man. Does the wife have knowledge of George Floyd? Was he a part of this situation going on in their personal lives? Because the cop's supposed to be married and have a girlfriend. TYS Consulting. Hey, Tim. Hi. Hi, you guys. We can't prove it. If we can prove it would be straight first-degree murder. Right. I would hope these people are going to have the best lawyers. It's going to all come out in the court. If we have gotten it in a couple of days, that much information, I'm sure that the lawyers are going to be able to dig deeper than that even. I mean, it's what they do. They have private investigators. Surely these cops are going to be digging, but they're going to bury any information they know. They have. Their tendency is to protect their own. But if they're trying to cover their ass, though, they might throw him to the wolves. Premeditated murder, says Eddie Queen. Mm-hmm. If they can prove his fiance was his girlfriend, sounds like murder to me. Oh my God! Now what? Let me turn this thing a little bit more. Y'all can tell me if I need to turn around or anything. What is that? Breaking news every 5 or 6 minutes. Okay. Anybody remember how long the Rodney King riots went on? how that was finally resolved. I was there, sort of. I was in jail, but I was in the city for aftermath. I don't remember how long it went on. But this is much different. This is the whole country. The entire country. Seems like every major city is having protests right now. The trouble doesn't, we can't talk about how bad it is because the real trouble doesn't start until nightfall. Antifa is responsible for the destruction of black cities. Antifa, I don't know anything about Antifa. Well, I've heard that they're an organization. Who exactly is Antifa? What does that stand for? Antifa. Is that a white militia group? Deborah Mitchell said white men can't stand when black men date their women. That's true. That's our history in this country. Remember, they used to lynch black people who dated a white woman, who even spoke to a white woman, who made any kind of suggestion. If you call it a white woman, you're either going to be prison or you're going to be lynched. That's our history. Now, we all know that when you go to your porn sites, that we're not all adhering to that same ideology anymore. But we can't speak it to what's in the mind of these people, other people. They're racist. That definitely is a factor. Yeah, I ain't never heard of a wife leaving you the same damn day you get arrested. I mean, before he was arrested, I guess she had filed for divorce. So that had to be teetering on the brink anyway. What if it was a hot thing going between all these people and then he encountered him because of this counterfeit bill? He identified who he was and then he proceeded to kill him because after he had him in handcuffs, he just put him in the backseat of the car, right? And he was so arrogant that he felt like he could do this out in front of everybody. And even when they said he has no pulse, he did not take his knee off his neck. What was the man going to jump up and beat up all the police? All the armed police? No doubt it was murder. We just have to decide on the degree of murder now. I suspect it should be higher than murder 3. And I hope they're not going to try this bullshit where they try to plead about, he'll plead to manslaughter. No, if it's murder, it's murder. In the movies, all they do is prove that this person knew him. That was, when they had that plot with cops and civilians, they had to prove that he knew the person that he killed. That usually is like the plot twist. Art imitating life. Sephora said, we can't prove it though. Well, not yet. But these lawyers, they make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hell, I assume they're going to be able to do something. We don't even have depositions or anything yet. She says, and George never mentioned he knew the police officer when he was screaming for his life. And yet we have proof that they worked at the same club. The cop was there 16 years. And the owner of the club said they had many problems where they had to back him off of people because of his excessive force, using mace or tear gas when it wasn't necessary. So we know that he's a hothead, and we do know that those people work for the same place for years. Right? And we all know that it's not worth, you don't kill a person passing a $20 bill counterfeit, whether he knew it or not. That's not the death penalty, honey. They still got to be arrested, right? So why would he justify him killing them anyway? It's not like he saw a weapon. Or they can't even use these. I saw a weapon. I saw something shiny. That's what they usually use. Can't even say that. We got it all live on tape. He ain't going nowhere. We just got to figure out how long he's going to be gone. Is it going to be forever? She's filing for divorce. If somebody filed that fast, honey, that was already on his way. She didn't like that fool. She's probably already trying to get away. We got to figure out, was it about these other interpersonal relationships? Because George was engaged to this girl, right? So they were about to get married. Now, would that piss you off? Is the person you were arresting, you a cop, you can do whatever you want to do. You find out the person you're arresting is the person who took your girlfriend from you. Even though you are a married man, you shouldn't be having no girlfriends. Is that what happened? Is that what made him decide to throw him under the car and pin him in the ground? Didn't look like the black guy George said very much. I don't know what he could have said. He certainly didn't pull no weapon. He didn't try anything. Why would he be on the ground? If you be on the ground, they usually throw you on the ground if they're going to try to put handcuffs on you and you're resisting. He already had the handcuffs on. So what would be the point of him hitting the cement after that? You got 3 cops. You can't get one man in the back seat who is handcuffed? It's bullshit. That woman couldn't wait to get away. She gonna have to, but she probably already packed her shit up and leave the state. You don't want to give your family in that atmosphere because of this fool. I guess she has children. The wife knows something. That's it. That breaks it down right there, Ursula Ingram. They're gonna have to definitely get her on the stand. She knows something. She might have heard. She might have said, "Oh, he's involved in officer shooting," and when she heard that name, she might have said, "Oh shit." It's a possibility that she knew who he was and what a vendetta this man had against him. Yep, that's her brother, the Asian cop. He just stood around. I guess he was the guard. Well, the guard of what? He just stood there. So all the cops, they definitely had to be fired. They shouldn't be on the force. But 2 of them were holding his back part while he had him in his neck. You have 2 cops already holding you down with their knees, and then this dude comes and drops it on your neck to cut off your air, or you're begging for your life. And when they tell you he has no pulse, he stopped moving, you still stay on his neck. Wouldn't it be the natural thing that if someone stops breathing, at that point you would take your knee off his neck? He wanted him dead. After that, you're making sure that he is dead. They need to be charged to stop all this violence in the streets. I don't know. They still be entitled to a trial. They would more than likely be eligible for bond because they would be accessories to murder. He should not get out at all in any conditions, or this whole thing's going to get worse. Y'all hear the helicopters? All over the country. And what did our great leader have to say? When they shoot. I think they probably got somebody guarding over here that has to keep him in his residence. Stay out the fucking way. They work in the same place for years. We don't know if they ever had fist fights before. We don't know if they fell out. We don't know if one of them got fired. We don't know anything yet. All we have to establish is that it was personal. If it was personal, then it's murder. If it wasn't personal, then it's 3rd-degree murder, but it's still murder. 3rd degree makes me very uncomfortable because it's so easy to go from 3rd-degree murder to manslaughter. It might be why they put the manslaughter charge up under it. So the people feel like they got something. 1st-degree murder is a whole different ballgame, honey. That means life. You never get out. You never get out. You go to prison and stay in protective custody for the rest of your life. They can't be on mainline because they're cops. For $20, for passing a $20 bill. So I've collected $20 bill. That's why people are at the register looking up at your bill. They don't mean they're going to call the SWAT team That just means they're gonna say, no, I'm sorry, we can't accept this. Because you have to prove that the man even knew that it was counterfeit. You don't know that. That's not how that money gets passed. If he had a pocket full of, let's say, $30,000 worth of counterfeit bills in his pocket, then he would be a counterfeiter. But by passing a $20 bill, it's in circulation. That's the whole goal of the counterfeiter, is to get the money in circulation. So a lot of people have the money in their pockets. Everybody in that area, Minneapolis, check your wallets. See if you got one of them. They don't just print one counterfeit bill. They get them in circulation. I don't think the police gonna come and pin you in your neck and murder you because you have one of these bills. Bullshit. At this point, I give up that whole idea. I don't think he's got anything to do with the bill, unless he just didn't know who he was going to encounter when he got there. But I don't even see that kind of police presence for a counterfeit bill. I mean, how you gonna have APB and shit warrants out for somebody passed a $20 counterfeit bill? I don't understand how the whole thing went down. So these people need to start coming forward. They've had the people on television who own the store and whatever. What happened? Did you take the bill, and then after he left, you decided it was counterfeit? Or how exactly did it go down? And how in the hell were all these cops so present there, where he was still on the scene when they got there? And I just go and pick you out of the car. Did the man leave a name when he passed the counterfeit bill? Or did you know him? Did the store owner, did you know that he knew him? George was just in here, passed the bill. We don't know. It's too early to say anything, really. But we got to talk about what's going on. The whole damn country is falling to shit. I think it's ridiculous to don't say anything about what's going on here. Of course, now it's way past this particular incident. They're going to still use George Floyd's name for the movement, but these people have got other issues. Are the Black Panthers still around? They're not still. Is there still a Black Panther Party? They're from right here across the street in Oakland. But I don't think they're active. I mean, they could become active, I guess, for a cause. Right. If they charge him with third-degree murder, it's not going to be. They ain't going to get those cops. The highest. They're not going to give them the highest for whatever charge it is, right? More than likely, they're going to call themselves settling for manslaughter. Manslaughter, you can be out in a few years. Manslaughter, you can be out 5 years, honey. So we don't want manslaughter. Strange they would leave that as a second option. Jim Crow, Lovely T, has called it out as agenda-based. Yes, Black Panthers are in Minnesota now. Okay, I didn't know the Panthers were in Minnesota. There are other organizations. There's Black Lives Matter. I don't understand what Antifa is. So obviously I wasn't paying attention when they were active. Yeah, manslaughter is just an accident. That was no damn accident, honey. It appears to me in the film like he is, have your knee on something, you can twist it and maneuver it to you down into his neck where you're cutting off the air. He might have been looking for an opportunity to get a hold of this dude since he took his girlfriend. Maybe affairs were going on at the same time. Obviously, he's not faithful to anybody because he was having an affair with the woman when he was married anyway. Were they already enemies? Because they already worked together for years. It sounds personal to me. When it becomes personal, it's no longer third degree. Right. So if you're in your pockets, I guess if you have your hands in your pockets, you're able to push your weight down into something, right? That's what I get the impression of. He had because it was always a mystery as why he got his hands in his pockets. He ain't got no mask on, so he couldn't be trying to protect himself from corona. He had his hands in his pockets because he's pushing his weight down into that man's neck. That's why I feel like he's twisting or maneuvering into his neck. You can increase your weight that way. I didn't think of it before. It just came to me. But then you can do that. That woman needs to get that divorce finalized before this fool goes to court, so they won't take everything from her. Get your half, honey. Get your half and run. Plus, now he done got her brother fired too, who he'll probably be on some kind of charges. He'll be gone for a couple of years as well, because all this rioting is not going to stop till they at least arrest them cops. They will arrest us for smoking a joint. California illegal now, but my point is for nothing. You can go to the supermarket, and pick up 2 candy bars. They will put you in jail for that. Hold you until charges are either decided upon. How can these people murder people and they ain't even in jail? You should at least arrest them till you finish the investigation, just to quell all this violence. You really don't want places like LA, Chicago to go violent, honey. Those are big cities with big masses of people, big masses of angry people. And in those audiences, you're going to find gangbangers, all kind of people, criminals, all kind of people, white supremacists trying to start more shit, all kind of people. No threat at all. And he knew who he was before he put him on that ground. And now they're saying that he was about to marry his ex-girlfriend. Allegedly. By tomorrow, it won't be allegedly anymore. This thing's moved pretty quick. And we're not even attorneys. You can imagine what they can dig up with all their private investigators. Okay, let me see. Okay, so Antifa, they're instigators of riots, usually in all black neighborhoods. Remember, also, the Russians were trying to start this very thing. That's what they were trying to use to start trouble between the races in order to get Trump in office. Hey, Iggy. Thank you for the super chat, brother. And you as well, passionate one. Thank you. Yeah, people, we're not going to, most of our videos during this time are not going to be monetized. So if you want to send something, thank you. They don't want us talking about it. Okay. Okay, China down. Have a blessed night. China down 25. Oh my God, they're tearing up Beverly Hills. Uh-oh. Now you break out the windows in Beverly Hills, you done came up, honey. I've been in jail to police at Beverly Hills police station. They're heavily, but I mean, if those people get over in Beverly Hills, I mean, they got $30,000 jewelry in the window. Yeah. I got to look up that story. I'm curious. One time I got arrested in Beverly Hills just for driving by, what was it, Maple Drive, where Dinah Ross lived. I was just being a tourist. I was just my old raggedy hoopty. They arrested me for driving down the street. I think I had something they called stolen in my trunk or whatever. But that's a real heavily policed district. LA is like 30 different cities all in one city, right? So it's metropolis. But they don't want no looters in them stores, believe me. Okay. Elaine Berry says, I don't believe it's about the fiance, but it may have been personal for the cop. Right. I'm not saying she's done anything wrong or anything. I'm saying if he was dating her before and she has left, because this is a married man. How are you going to date a married man? Not much future in that. And if he started dating this guy after him or during the same time he was seeing him, He might have just used his position to kill him. Maybe when he checked his ID, oh, I don't know. I mean, we don't know anything. We're just guessing at this point. The family hasn't even acknowledged the fiance. Well, they might not even known about her. I mean, you got interracial relationships. Everybody's not ready for that. We don't know what the relationship or the situation between them was. I mean, I've been involved in interracial relationships. I can't imagine telling my mom when my lover was very sick with AIDS and I was spinning out of control on drugs. I came home one day and he told me, Tam, I called your mom. I said, oh, shit. I know she cussed him out. First of all, called me two guys. Secondly, because he was a different race. But he never did tell me. I mean, he was sick, so he never did tell me what they discussed. Neither did she, so I don't know. But no, it wasn't no one big happy family. We do have a lot of interracial relationships in our family, though. We always have. So I don't see things quite that way. Helicopters over here now. What city are you in? Lady Buck. We got helicopters. I can see them. My friend Gamage Carter, one of the moderators here, they all over his place. He called me. I couldn't even hear him because of all the protests outside. Hi, Tracy Case. I'm going to post the update on these riots on my community feed. Okay, I'll be looking in there. Hope you go live. I enjoy your lives, honey. What celebrities will you have today? Oh, they mean they have swingers. They've been swingers. Okay, the best advice I can give: get a good gas mask, peacemaker, fight on your feet and die on your knees. Or die on your knees. Yeah, you're gonna need more than a little surgical mask, that's for sure. Just awful. I mean, they were just telling us to stay in the house. Now, all these people, look at them. What do you see? Is anybody staying in the house? Look how close the cops are to each other. And they're like building a human wall. Trevor Noah made a fantastic monologue about connecting the dots and the demo effect of systematic racism and the woman in the park. Watch and react. Okay, we'll check out Trevor. He's pretty good. Trevor Noah. Y'all check out Trevor Noah. Apparently he's pieced this thing together. But I just heard from one of these YouTubers today about this connection between the woman, the girl. So we can't confirm that yet. Thanks for the super chat, Nathan. I'm not even curious. I'm not going out of my house. Me being there is not going to change anything. Nothing. My God. I mean, just to think that these people were 6 foot apart just last week. Ain't nobody in here 6 foot apart. It'd be impossible. They're pushing them onto each other. And when they back them back, they're all connected to each other. So if anything's getting passed, it's definitely getting passed in this environment. And it's in every city. Makes you kind of wonder about, conspiracy theorists. Was this planned? This how chemical warfare works? And what's that number going to look like a month from now, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now? It's at 100,000 now. Okay, Perrine Chocolates is also endorsing or saying that Trevor Noah had a good post today. So we'll check it out. Where's Jaded Nerd? Is he here? Hey, Jaded Nerd, I saw you out there. Be careful, man. Be careful. Don't let your guard down. Don't forget this virus that's going around. Please, people, please be careful. It looks like the majority of these people out in these riots are young people. So they'll probably get exposed to this virus and they could probably fight it. But you got to be careful about what you bring back into your house, brothers and sisters. What are you exposing your parents to? What are you exposing other people you live with, your roommates to, your children to, if you have any? All we're saying is be careful. Nobody's mad at you for protesting police brutality. We've been doing this, I guess, since the 60s. I mean, it flares up now. Thank God it's not every day like it was in the 60s. But this looks like a television show. That looks like 1965. I was just a little baby. Did that mugshot look like the same Derek from the video? I got the mugshot seems younger than when we saw him on that man's knee, on the man's neck. But I assume that they wouldn't feed us a different person. You know. Sometimes people say they get mad because people say all blacks look alike. And you say all Chinese people look alike. All this look alike. But the reality is, if you give everybody, even all white people, if you give them all the same haircut, same hair color hair, if you don't know the people, they do look alike. So I mean, I have a hard time knowing what a person looks like when they're 25 to when they're 35 if it's the same person, unless I'm familiar with their face. So we do, human beings, they do kind of look alike. When you look at soldiers, they look a whole lot alike, honey. So they ain't got the hair, they ain't got no personal style. They're all dressed exactly alike. They have the exact same haircut. So in that instance, people do look alike. I used to say, well, all white girls look alike. If they were thin and had long blonde hair, I couldn't tell them apart. But you got to know the people, because we all look alike. We do look alike. I mean, how many different colors of hair are there? You ladies get to change up and throw all these different color purple hairs and all that kind of stuff, but men they're just dudes. So if they got their hair trimmed close, they look alike. I mean, not everybody. Some guys are masculine, some guys are scrawny. But if you take a guy like, I don't know, some type of guy, say some nerdy guy with wear big Coke glasses, whatever, who wears his hair real short. That's what the character looks like. They would look all that different. So in answer to your question, baby, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I just got a better look at him when he showed the it's not a mug shot. I think it's some kind of police shot, whatever they're circulating now, and he looks younger. That's a miserable son of a bitch, though. That woman, anytime a woman walk away from you that easily, she wanted to get away. This is her excuse to finally get away. I will be curious to know what that woman knows. Unfortunately, they can't force a woman to testify against her husband. So if she divorces him, then maybe we can get the real rundown. Yeah, I'm sorry for my answer, Asha El Mohammed. Why can't I pronounce people's names? I don't know. After dark, it'll be worse. You got that right. That's when the violence starts, after dark. So right now it's about 7 o'clock here. So it's dark in some cities, just starting to get dark. But these Atlanta and LA, Chicago, now Chicago's involved. Philadelphia. This is Minneapolis. Look at them cops. They got more cops than they got people. Yeah, they're preparing for the worst. I would hope they don't destroy their own city. It's not a small town, though. It's just when we see it, we're just seeing the areas that are affected. But they're big cities. Unfortunately, these caravans they seem to move around the cities. I don't know what Atlanta. Why are they mad at CNN? If they're tearing up CNN, they're tearing up a whole lot of stuff there. Fortunately, spray paint can be fixed and windows can be fixed. We just don't want people to be hurt or the buildings to be burned. I mean, when they're burned to the ground. I wonder what it's like for us if you burn a supermarket. Now, are they covered? They have insurance, but are they covered for every can of peas on the shelves? They've got to be affected in some way. I mean, how can you even calculate? I guess maybe they have a cap if they total the building out. Then they're going to double the insurance on it. So. What? Praline chocolates. Now, are you this? This is real news. Hold on, wait a minute. We got to go back to Praline here. Praline Chocolates One says, "Are you aware that Queen Elizabeth, Queen of England, has been dethroned, and Buckingham Palace has been boarded up?" I never heard of that. Of course, all we getting is this. This is our news. But the Queen being dethroned? No, I haven't heard about that. Thank you, Praline. There's one more thing we got to check out. Well, why haven't we heard about that, though? That the Queen of England would be dethroned. Has that ever happened? Dethroned, and the Buckingham Palace has been boarded up. Well, it doesn't surprise me that Buckingham Palace can be boarded up because damn near everything here is boarded up, except for the store that's open, the Safeway, and a few restaurants are not boarded up, but everything else is boarded up. So I guess these business owners already figured there was going to be hell to pay when they were out of business for this long. I do still think a lot of this is because people have been locked in for all this time. They got frustrations. A lot of these people are probably students. They've been taken out of their classes. They're trying to do their classes online. They had to move off the campuses. So their living situation is all messed up. So yeah, I imagine people are angry for various reasons. So when they got an opportunity to run out into the street and scream out, "I'm pissed. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore." I think that's an element. Chicago curfew tonight is 9 p.m. Is it 9 p.m. there now? It's 7 here, so I think Chicago is 2 hours difference. People didn't adhere to those curfews last night, though. Curfew in Philly, too. Breaking Tampa, Florida. Okay, Vanessa Green. His photo looks younger because his face wasn't distorted with hate like during the murder. Makes perfectly good sense to me. He was smiling in the camera. He looks angry, miserable. He looks like a racist to me. Some of those pictures, why are you trying to look hard? One thing I don't like about cops, or everything you encounter them in the regular world, they're always trying to look like they're in control and they're hard and all this shit. Well, that ass is gonna be softened up real soon. Vanessa, somebody else was thinking the same thing. So yeah, I guess you got a point there. I imagine you do look different when you're murdering somebody than you do when you're smiling at the camera. England have issues too. Yeah. Why would they dethrone the Queen though? I wonder if they rioted. I'm sure other countries are having issues. You lock some people up for 3 months and tell them they can't make no money. I'm in Illinois. Okay. Yeah, I heard Chicago. Look at that. So all them people are wearing masks, huh? They're all staying 6 feet away from each other. Y'all see? Look at that. They're throwing objects at the police now. This is still Minneapolis. They have the National Guard there. It's going to be a rough night, believe me. We've had riots before. Other riots, were they national though? Rodney King riots, I mean, I guess they had hotspots. I don't know that all these cities has been involved in one riot. But of course, I don't know. I mean, of course, it happened in the 60s. Happened all the time in the 60s during the civil rights movement. Not rioting here in England yet. Okay. Thanks, me, P. Did y'all actually dethrone your queen though? Me, P? Me, P? Did y'all dethrone the Queen of England? Please answer. Passionate one, thank you for the super chat. The Queen is not dethroned. Fake news. Okay. Yeah, I think they will interrupt the news for something like that. I think even the Queen could demand an audience. She's so old. Why would you do that to her now? What is she, 90? Well, praise God for computers, because now we're so used to being locked in anyway. I mean, they have curfew, but are we already locked up anyway? Most of us, pretty much. Ain't nobody dethroning the Queen. Better not try. We'll have our own riot. They probably are boarding up the palace, though. That wouldn't surprise me, because if things, they're looking at American television and they're seeing all this stuff go on, they may say, we need to board up the palace, the White House too. Then they shut down the White House for a while yesterday. Let's not forget about Washington, D.C. They are showing the news here. What is going on in the U.S.? Let me say, they are showing the news here. What is going on in the USA? Okay. I'm sure a lot of people see this as a reflection of the situation with this corona too. Some people are going to see it that way. I'd imagine if you're in another country, you're going to see it that way. This is all we've been talking about for the last 3 months. This is an eruption at the end of it. So will this affect the lockdown, the reopening? How safe is it going to be to reopen right now? This might slow things up in a few cities. A lot of business owners might choose to keep their businesses closed for the moment. She's still on the throne. That's right, Queen. I hope that idiot Trump don't come out and say, just don't say, he don't need to say anything. Just don't say shit. We already know how you feel about violence against people. We heard you cheering it on during the damn rallies of yours. And no doubt, I resisted at first. I said, well, it's not racial because it seems to be all races are involved. But no doubt, those racist people are going to get involved in that and try to amplify it. Some people still have dreams and fantasies of race wars and people. The last thing we need is Trump in there with a bullhorn. They need to just take away his Twitter, period. Barack Obama, he gave up his BlackBerry when he got in office. Why hasn't Trump been asked to give up his damn Twitter? Then he's going to turn on them, and if they say anything against him, or if they even suggest that what he's saying is not true, he decides he wants to go, I'll have him closed down. That's an arrogant fool. After all they done for you, Trump. More than 20 cities, James Boss. And spreading. Well, no, tomorrow will be 25. It's got to be at least the major cities. I think we have at least California is so big though. I mean, it's the whole coast, the whole West Coast. So they're in LA, they're here somewhat peaceful here. The violence is growing in Oakland. They're in San Jose. And I'm sure there are other. I mean, there's so many cities here. It's hard to calculate. Mm-hmm. Let's see, is she in Minneapolis? Okay. Is Ihan Omar? I didn't know she was from Minnesota. How long did it last, Mari? England had very similar riots in the 2000s. And before, that was Broadwater and the Brixton riots. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Sacramento. Yeah, LA's got so many cities. They probably got 5 or 6 different, because LA, I mean, that's like 30 cities all grouped together. So each one of them could have their own riot. I'm sure there's at least 10, 15 there. Long Beach is a different place. You know, it's huge. Yeah, I kind of feel for business owners too. People say, well, it's just part of the carnage. But a lot of time it takes people a long time to build a business. Some of these businesses are 2 or 3 generations old. It's taking them that long to build up a decent business that this can survive. So a lot of these businesses, they were already under stress from this corona. How are they going to come back now? They don't even have a building. And how is this going to affect the reopening? Trump's going to say, oh, it's no big deal. Just open your stores. I just saw that Waste Human is on suicide watch. Who's Waste Human? Natitia. I just saw Waste Human is on suicide watch. Mm-hmm. All right, people, we can't resolve. Oh my goodness. That's in New York. Are they burning cars in New York too? And it's just getting dark. All right, guys. We can't change anything right here, so I'll let you guys go. I'll check in with you tomorrow. Stay safe. Stay in if it's at all possible. People, keep your teenagers in the house. Keep them safe.